Computer. All right, guys, I'm going to record this for everybody who cannot make it or anybody who's late, but thank you guys so much for joining this. I think this is a really valuable lesson, webinar that we're going to do for you guys. Realtor.com has some wonderful tools out there to help you with your business. And Mike has I can't pronounce your last name, so I'm not going to try, has so graciously agreed to give us some help today to tell you how to use their toolkits for free, what they have. There's some paid platforms as well. He's going to go over that with you guys to help grow your business. And with all of our consumers starting their research out online, this might be a great platform for you guys. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and he's going to start from here. So Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Billy. Really excited to be able to spend some time with you and your membership and walk through Realtor.com and where we're at. There's a lot to share. I personally have been with the organization 17 years, and I spent most of my time belly to belly with agents and brokers. I've recently joined the industry relations team here back in May, and really getting to better engage with the MLSs and associations and the National Association of Realtors, but really excited to be able to share with you everything that we've been doing and where we're going. So I'm going to go off camera here, so you don't have to watch me. You can kind of keep your eyes and ears focused on the presentation. Just kind of get going here. So since I've been with the company, something that's been at the center of what we do is kind of around our value proposition of connecting the consumer with a broker and agent. And that continues to be even more so in terms of how we're transitioning and evolving our business. So I want to make sure I reaffirm that importance of what our mission is. And, something that we think about, and it's pretty simple in terms of go back 10 years, and one of our leaders was talking about taxis. And we would, 10 years ago, when you wanted to get somewhere, you would reach out to a taxi and set them up. And I just asked the question, we asked the question, well, today, who do you reach out to get somewhere? And immediately we think of Uber, we think of Lyft. So, the question that we have to ask ourselves is, who is the consumer going to reach out to 10 years from now when it comes to real estate? And with our mission and our value proposition, we want that to continue to always be the realtor and the agent and the broker. So what we're doing to evolve is continuing to keep that at the forefront and at the center of what we're thinking about as we go forward. Obviously 64% of consumers expect companies to respond and interact in real time. So when you talk about Realtor.com, our focus is to keep the realtor at the heart of the real estate journey. And that's such an easy, simple thing to say, but it's so relevant in today's environment. And investing in our brand. So when you think of Realtor.com, we kind of think ourselves as the little R. You're the big R, and we're the little R. And we were acquired by News Corp. This is going on about 5 or 6 years ago, and they've invested a significant amount of dollars to resonate the realtor brand, which is your brand, in front of that consumer, and really establishing that Realtor.com is the home of home search. We've come out with new campaigns, and we have been really running these campaigns across the entire country in many different facets. The producer that produced these campaigns actually did it from their home, and they've went over really well. And you don't need to go, I'm not going to show them for you now, but there is a resource there, youtube.com/c/realtor.com/videos, and you can go watch them. And I have another resource towards the end of the presentation where you can go and actually pull these up pretty quickly. But they've went really well with the consumers, and it's kind of powered our growth to where we have hit some record traffic numbers. Over 91 million unique visitors visited Realtor.com just this past July. We had a single day record in June, on June 25th, with 7 million unique visitors in one day. So all the efforts and the focus and the investments in growing the brand and reaching the consumer is working. And so you might ask, what does this mean for us here at our association in South Carolina and in our region? So I actually went and I ran the report. So we send out a monthly report for specific to your association and your region. And I looked back in October, there was over 515 million search results views just in your specific areas. And those 515 million search result views, which I liken to people driving by on Realtor.com looking at homes in any of the different areas like Rock Hill and Fort Mill that are in your guys' area, that resulted in over 13.4 million listing detail views, which I liken to a showing. So there's absolutely a large audience of folks searching into your region, engaging on Realtor.com, and which creates a lot of opportunity for you. And something that we've been really focusing on is home is where the heart is. And even more now than ever, given that, you have this pandemic and we're actually experiencing our homes at a much different level, be it teaching. I have three daughters and the ages 10, 7, and 5. And so it's created quite the situation in terms of having to manage those children through the schooling. And, everything we do at home, we're spending a lot more time there. So it becomes more than just a house. So when we talk about our journey in terms of the consumer experience, I can share with you, last year we actually bought a new home, me and my wife, and we went through the experience from a consumer perspective. And I've heard this said many times within my realtor community that whether you're in the industry as a realtor or a financer or whatever your position is, you should go through the buying experience and selling experience once every 5 years. And it's such can be somewhat of a very emotional roller coaster. And so we at Realtor.com are continuing to focus on how do we help make that process easier and more rewarding. We continue to think about the consumer as our North Star, and we want to be that trusted partner for the consumer so that they continue to come back. And the more they come back, the more we're helping drive value back to our customers, the agent and broker, as we go down this path and this journey. And it starts with search. So, given the experience I had a year ago, that completely changed the way I looked at, searching on Realtor.com and other portals as I went through that journey. I wanted to take time and walk you through, what have we done? What are the different features that resonate that we've rolled out? Starting with the fact that we're using API to actually try to predict which photo is going to be the most engaging photo for that listing. And an agent can go in at any time and log into your dashboard and change the sequence of the photos and how they're presented, and that'll override anything we would put in place. But we're definitely have upped our game. So I want to share with you, for instance, when I was going through this process with my wife, Melissa, the fact that when we came back to Realtor.com and it would show us the newest listings so that we didn't have to identify which listings we've already looked at was huge. And so that's something that we've put in part of the consumer experience that I think is making it really easy for consumers as they visit Realtor.com and they come back to identify which homes are new. We also created what I consider is a really awesome feature that we rolled out this year, being able to view by room. So I know when I was looking, one of the first things I wanted to look at was the garage. Typical guy over here wanting to see what the garage looked like. But my wife wants to look at the kitchen and wanted to look at the living room. So she could actually go and just look at those specific items first So that was a new feature that we rolled out that, if you're not aware of, want to kind of once again show you some of these different experiences that is helping us improve the consumer's journey as they're coming to Realtor.com and doing their searches. And we continue to add, context to help give that consumer insight into their buying power. Obviously, one of the biggest things when you're looking to buy a new home is what can you afford? And so the capability to be able to come on Realtor.com and sort by what your affordability is, and being able to have the ability to toggle between different payments, and then the homes that are aligned with that financing will start to then be a part of that search experience. And that's been something that they can drill down to different features or within a given neighborhood. So once again, a new feature that came out that's really playing well with the consumer, that's continuing to give them more options as part of their search experience. When it comes to quality of life, your commute and the commute time from home to work, that's another huge aspect that consumers they care about. So the ability to test drive commute times within our app, within Realtor.com, is a new feature, and it's been playing really well with the consumer. So once again, I encourage you to go on to Realtor.com and do a search from the lens of the consumer. And it changes your lens, obviously, if you're going through the buying or selling experience like I did a year ago. So I wanted to resonate some of these different features that are new and that are driving that consumer's experience and bringing them back. For instance, another huge aspect of the buying experience is school districts. And so we've created a feature where a consumer can come in and draw specifically around school districts, and they can be able to drill down and get alerts. So if something happens within that school district, a new home pops up, they will be alerted. And being able to look at the schools and ratings and the test scores compared to other schools in the area has been a new feature and a new aspect of what we've been doing to increase that consumer experience on Realtor.com. And the ability to draw, so the ability to go on a map, and I'll share a story. One of my good friends who's in Arizona, they wanted to move to a specific area within Arizona, and they kept getting just consistent feedback that it wasn't a very good area. It was a very mixed area, so they were not getting favorable information. So when they went on the map, they were able to draw a specific area within that area. And when they went and showed that to folks, they go, "Oh, well, yeah, that area right there is actually really nice." So the ability to drill down more specific has been another huge feature that we've worked on and evolved to create that consumer experience and journey. Something that we've spent a lot of time on, specifically going back to the beginning of when we all went through this experience in March, with being more at home and working from home and having to adjust to that, virtual tours and live streaming open houses. We put a lot of effort into those. 26% increase in listings with virtual tours on Realtor.com. 1/3 of all listings on Realtor.com include a virtual tour. Those listings attract 48% of users, and live stream open houses are up 400% since April. So, really, really upping our game in that arena. So hopefully you all are taking advantage and adding virtual tours or doing live open houses. And at the end, I will have a resource to direct you all to get more information and more insight to take advantage of that. Something that it continues to be an important feature that you should implement is photos. So probably somewhat preaching here to the choir about how important it is to have photos on your listings, but our metrics show that listings with 25% 25 plus photos attract 6% more page views per unique visitor, and consumers spend about 8% more time on listings with 25 plus photos. And you can easily share with the features we've added around photos. Within your dashboard, you can share your listings on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So definitely take advantage of getting those listings out on social media that you have implemented. So, you know, all this effort around improving the consumer journey and creating ad campaigns to drive the consumer to Realtor.com, it doesn't matter if we can't get the right professional to connect with that consumer as part of their process. So when you think about consumers coming to Realtor.com, they're finding their home, their dream home, and then they're raising their hand. They're actually submitting an inquiry. And I want to walk you through briefly what we are doing to improve that process once they raise their hand and they're ready to talk to a real estate professional. So I think this picture it speaks for itself. So I personally worked with agents and brokers trying to solve this problem when consumers would raise their hand on Realtor.com, ready to talk to that agent or realtor and be able to start to go further down that process. And one of the biggest issues, probably the biggest issue that we had, is the consumer is just not having a great experience. They're not hearing back from somebody or in a timely manner, whether it be 15 minutes, an hour, 2 days. It became a very, very problematic issue. And agents would say, you know, well, we have tire kickers, or I just don't have time to spend following up on every inquiry on Realtor.com. So somewhat of what we call lead fatigue. So once again, a huge problem, and it's something that we needed to solve for to continue to deliver a best-in-class consumer experience, not only for the consumer, but for you, the agent and broker. So the solution that is now very much at the center of what we do is called managed service. So managed service is this concept of being able to take that consumer and immediately engage with them, identify who they are, fill in all the gaps of what they're looking for, what their timeline is, and then be able to identify who is the agent that can best service their needs in that market, in that area that they're looking to buy or sell. So something we've rolled out across actually over 200 different markets in the country have this as part of their process. It's called Ready Connect Concierge. And I'm going to give you some insight on what that is. And we have some people joining still, so I'm going to make sure they get admitted here. So we're increasing conversion up to 3 times the industry average based on our managed service platform. Some of the things to note is our median response time is within 10 seconds. We're responding to inquiries 365 days a year, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Central Standard. And we're doing it after hours via text message, so that when folks reach out at some of those hours that no one's really available, we're keeping them nice and warm so that immediately when business hours start, they're ready to have a conversation with us. So what does this mean? So what this means is we're actually pre-screening for you. We're doing the work up front that was very painful for agents and brokers to do. And we're allowing you to focus on what you do best, is manage your relationships, manage your sphere of influence. And then when somebody is ready to talk to you or ready to talk to an agent, we're going to be able to then identify, you know, what was their timeline to purchase? Are they working with an agent? What is their preferred location, price range, and property type? So that when we get them on the phone with you, you're already prepared to be able to start to have that next level conversation and build rapport with a real person who's serious about being able to transact and buy or sell a new home. So our concierge customer service reps will live transfer that consumer to you, the agent, in real time. And that's happening, and it has been happening for over the last 1.5 years, 2 years. And so what's happening is we're solving for those past problems. we're elevating the consumer experience while limiting agent fatigue, which was a huge problem for all of you that you might, all be shaking your head. We're helping agents grow lead conversion and their skill set and their spear, because they're not wasting time with tire kickers or leads that are never following up. We're creating a whole new revenue stream through referrals for agents and brokers, and there is no upfront cost. So we're taking on that economic efforts upfront to follow up with the inquiries, to screen them, to get them over to the right agent who's most skilled to take that consumer to an actual closing. And in terms of some of the things we've been able to evolve, so for instance, when consumers come on and they want to schedule a tour, we're really making this at the forefront so that they're more serious. So someone who's ready to actually take a tour is much more likely to turn into a closing than somebody who's just asking a very basic question. So we're definitely increasing that capability. Client rewards, because of the managed service platform and process, we're able to add more components that are going to incentivize that consumer to close with the agent that's assigned to them. And we're seeing significant lift of closings of our leads because of the fact that now they're incentivized to work with that agent that they were assigned through with Realtor.com. So this is only available obviously in markets and states where it's allowed. Just to make sure I take note of that, we are going to be rolling out something new that's going to provide an incentive in terms of the smart home incentive. So think of different aspects of things within a home that the consumer could implement to help make their home smarter. So we're going to be implementing a different incentive for markets where the client rewards is not capable because it's not allowed. So we're definitely continuing to increase that. I think we're one of the only portals that has these types of client rewards, which is driving the incentive for the consumer to close with you when you connect with that consumer through Realtor.com. I think another really neat feature that's driving the consumer back to the Realtor.com agent is once you're connected with the consumer through our managed service platform, that consumer is now assigned to you. And we're going to reinforce the value of that agent that they're assigned to be able to go back to you as that consumer comes to Realtor.com and they're looking at homes. We're going to continue to present you as their agent when they're on Realtor.com, so that they continue to be reinforced that if they're interested in any specific property, then Billy is the person that you should be going back to inquire or have a conversation throughout that journey on Realtor.com. So it's a really neat new experience through our managed service process that's now being implemented. And what's resulting from this transition to this managed service process is much happier consumers. They're having a much better experience because they're actually connecting with somebody immediately in the process when they reach out, which is our customer service reps that are managing the concierge experience. And then they're getting connected with an agent who's live and ready to be able to help them if they are indeed ready to talk to an agent and it makes sense. So you can read some of the different responses that we're getting back from consumers, but it's really, really positive. And the agent's experience is much better, significantly better. So that's also a really positive outcome. So really, when you wrap up, our consumer experience provides value back to professionals, and being able to provide a differentiated consumer experience that reinforces the real estate professional's value. It's really putting the value of the agents at a much higher level. Being able to have features that help connect professionals to consumers, tools that help the brokers and agents and lenders grow their business, as well as free resources that include market research and professional guidance, and most importantly, your online profiles. So something that I'm going to transition into that I think is immensely going to help every single one of you is being able to build your Realtor.com profile. And adding a video to your profile to engage potential clients Profiles with a photo receive 5 times more inquiries compared to profiles without a photo. Including sold data to stand out from the crowd is huge. So if you see on the screen, you know, something that we are getting a ton of benefit because of the traffic that comes to Realtor.com with the different search portals. So think of Google, think of Yahoo. When you claim your profile and you enhance your profile on Realtor.com, you're going to see your name and the Realtor brand go up in the search results. So when somebody searches by the term Realtor or your name and Realtor, it's going to see a big lift on the search engines. So I cannot reinforce enough going on to Realtor.com and increasing your profile. So here's the experience. So let's start with an actual find a Realtor. So if you come to Realtor.com as a consumer, you can go to the top and click find Realtors and put in the area. And I encourage all of you to go and do a search today into Rock Hill, into Fort Mill, into Charlotte, wherever you have business or you're focused on. Go and do a search so you can see what the profiles that are out there look like today. And this is an example of what you should have your profile, a rich, complete profile with your picture, the ability to read your a description of who you are, how many years you've been in service, your designations. Folks can come and write a recommendation. So ratings and reviews, I'm going to show you a place, a resource to go, but you can copy and paste any of the LinkedIn recommendations you have. You can put those on there. When it comes to ratings, you can invite anybody you've done a transaction with to do a rating for you. That does need to be authenticated through Realtor.com, but recommendations you can upload yourself, or you can ask any of your clients to send you a recommendation and you can copy and paste that and then put that into your profile. So when somebody comes to Realtor.com and they do a search, or they go to Google and they do a search for an agent, or they go to a listing that you have and they click to go to your profile, this is where they're going to be able to inquire to you. So having your mobile number set up, having your email set up, so that anybody who's inquiring, you're going to get those inquiries from your profile. We're seeing a huge increase on Realtor.com. We look back the last 4 years, our Find a Realtor inquiries are up 10x. So we've put a lot of effort into trying to drive as much value to the agents and realtors that are in our profiles. So that's something that I once again would reinforce is coming on to Realtor.com, logging into your dashboard, and updating your profile. And once again, this is showing you what it looks like when I go to look at somebody's recommendation, and I can see the different ones here. For example, I can go make a recommendation. You can share this out with any of your contacts so that they can go and add their experience they had with you. Once again, you can copy and paste. So in terms of the profile and where to go, you log into your profile, go right down here to add a recommendation and copy and paste it. So it's really not hard. I think the biggest challenge agents have is what's my login information and how do I get to the right section within the dashboard to add a recommendation. So I'm showing you the visual. It's really simple. You just have to learn how to get logged in, and we're here to support you and help you. So I want to show you once again, what does the end look like? What does it look like once I have my profile with 10 or more recommendations? When you have 10 or more recommendations and somebody sorts by recommendations, you can see that it's going to increase or lift your visibility on our profile search. So definitely reiterating, please take the time, go update your profile when you can. So when you look at the real ratings, so ratings and reviews from clients that have actually closed transactions, this is one of the only evaluating systems in the industry. So when you look at this, you can see I can go write a review. I can look at what my rating was. If you do have the capability to approve this, just note, you will have the capability to approve this before it goes live. If you ever have anybody that does not give you a favorable review, which I don't expect to happen for many, if any, but you can reach out to us and we can help support you with that if it comes up. Let me take a moment, and I want you all to screenshot this slide, write down the link below. It says www.industry.realtor.com/CC, so Content Corner CC Pro. We have created this site that gives you all the information that I've went through and more. So managed services, if any of you are interested in wanting to know more about how do I, sign up and become a part of the managed service program, you can go to right here where it says managed service. Where do I go to learn more about how do I get my profile set up? Right here under profile. If I want to go watch some of the TV ad campaigns that I walked you through, right here under TV campaign. If you want to go look at the Find a Realtor experience and get more information, contact us. If you want to reach out and actually set up a training and get some help, you can go right here to the Contact Us section. So once again, industry.realtor.com/CC Pro. Awesome section for just our agents and brokers to go learn how to manage Realtor.com at a much higher level and take advantage of the free resources that we have. And in terms of the economics team, so we've been working diligently to provide more help, more support when it comes to what's happening out there. You can go to these different, they're also included in the content corner that I talked about earlier, but there's a research portal where you can go get great statistics to support you as you're researching for your clients on what's happening and you want to share relevant information. We have a data library that you can go to. We have a section around COVID-19 and a resource page. And we also have a Twitter account where we're continuing to share relevant, helpful information. So that's at RDC_economics. So I've covered a lot today. I tried to make it powerful and impactful in terms of what we have and what we're doing. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to look and see if any questions have come through the chat. It does look like we have. So yes, so Caroline, thank you. Rewards are allowed in South Carolina. So the client rewards program is definitely allowed for your market. Thank you. I am going to, let's see here, come back on video and see if we have anybody that wants to come off being on mute and have any questions. We have another chat coming in. So what is the referral fee for the concierge service? Caroline, thank you. So it's going to vary depending on the pricing point. So if it's under $150,000 sales price, that would be 30%. If it's over $150,000 sales price, it's 35%. And when it comes to the client rewards program, if the client is part of that client rewards, then I think the max would be up to 38%. We are going to fund 75% of the client rewards. So the agent is only going to be funding 25%, but the max on a client rewards referral would be 38%. Any other questions from the group? I know I covered a lot. I will continue to keep this slide up around our content corner. Content Corner Pro. I think this
Can everyone hear me? Mike, can you hear me? Okay. Mike, we lost your sound. I don't know if you can hear me. Does anybody else have any questions that we can help with? It doesn't look like, I don't see anybody typing. Jewel does not have a question. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm going to wait for any more other questions. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me and we can get back to you. I'm going to put this up on our posting. I'm going to put this up on our YouTube page. Thank you so much, Mike, for presenting for this. If I can get the slides for this, I would greatly appreciate that, if you're allowed to share them. And if anybody has questions, email me. I'll get the answers for you. And you guys have a great day.